My gaming wisdom. Don't let the haters keep you down, man.
I'm signing off now. Goodbye. Goodbye.
I knew that would just bring up some Mario Party hate.
Playoffs for 15 fucking years.
Yeah, it hurts real bad. That one hurts.
It hurts me in my soul, but
yeah,
it's been great for my character.
Yeah, true. You learn how to dust yourself off as a fan.
Truly does. I think about what kind of person I would be if I wasn't a Kings fan, and I shudder at the thought.
It would have gone nowhere in life.
I wouldn't have this haircut. That's for fucking sure.
That's true. For the listeners at home, David got a very good haircut.
It's fresh, with a capital fresh.
But this podcast isn't about sports or haircuts.
What is it about, Chase?
It's about video games. Specifically, it's Video Game Podtimism, the Optimist video game variety show where two best friends talk about the wonderful world of gaming.
You feeling that monkey?
That monkey's got me. I'm Chase, and I main DK in Mario Party.
I'm David, and I main Peach in Mario Party.
You do, don't you?
I do.
That's accurate.
Mm-hmm. That's my girl. In most Mario games, I choose Peach.
In most, outside of Mario Party, like Mario Kart, you're also a Peach.
Yeah, I'm Peach. I'm Peach in Mario Kart for certain.
Yeah, that's true. I have never put this together, but you do play a lot of Peach.
It's not by choice. It's just I think she plays the best.
That's good info. I didn't know this. She's real fast. She can go around the corners pretty good.
She's not fast. She's quick. She accelerates fast, and she has good turning.
That's true.
And then in Mario Party, I think I just chose her because I'm like, I guess I didn't start playing Mario Party until I was older, and so I'd already liked her in Mario Kart. So I'm like, I'll just choose Peach. Sure. And no one else was choosing her unless there was, unfortunately, like another girl there.
And then who are you going to play? Toad? No thanks.
I know. Fuck Toad, dude. I don't want to be Toad.
Sorry, all the Toad mains out there.
Yeah, sorry. Just not my cup of tea. Don't fuck Toad. Toad's okay. It's just not for me.
It's the Optimist video game variety show. Come on.
I know. I'm sorry.
Don't fuck Toad.
I mean, unless it's consensual, I guess.
That's true. I don't want to yuck your yum.
Yeah. Have whatever yum you want.
Hey, David. Have you been playing video games?
Yeah, I have been.
Yeah?
Actually, yeah.
Which ones? What flavor?
I've been playing two ends of the Switch spectrum.
Okay.
This past week.
The first end being?
The first end being the easy boy, lazy boy, don't want to have to think after work boy spectrum.
Golf Story?
No.
Oh.
Pokemon. Sword.
What do these little guys do?
They're attaching themselves to my heart.
Oh, okay.
I'm remembering what makes Pokemon games fun, which is
it's weird that this one did it, right?
Yeah. It's you get attached to
your squad.
The Pokés.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's just fun to watch them evolve. And I just figured out there's like all these weird looking like base forms of Pokemon, and I have no idea what these creatures are. No idea. Yeah. And it's fun to watch what they evolve into.
Yeah, that's true.
That's truly the joy of the game, I think, is just, when's this one going to evolve? I don't know. Is it level 20? Is it level 26? 32? 36? Who knows?
Never know.
Does it need a leaf stone? I don't know. Does it need something that I'm not giving it? Does it need to be traded? Do I need to go to Bulbapedia to look this up?
You certainly do.
I certainly do. I certainly do. I'm going to have to trade you one of my Pokés because it's not going to evolve unless I trade it with someone. You're the only one I can trade it with. So
that is true. You have Sword or did you get Shield? Which one you got?
Yeah, I got Sword.
Sword boys.
Sword boys. We couple of Sword boys here. So that's been fun.
And the other end of your spectrum is
Cuphead. Yeah.
The hard spectrum.
The hard boy, washboard abs gamer boy end of the spectrum.
Sure, yeah. Yoked gamers.
You got to be tough. You got to be a core gamer, as Nintendo identified me as, to enjoy this game.
You're gonna bring that up for the rest of your life.
I was just so flattered that someone else noticed.
Finally, someone noticed that I'm a core gamer.
It probably wasn't even them. It was probably just their algorithm. They're just like, this guy's a big nerd. So tell him that he's a core gamer. No, Cuphead's really fun. It's real hard, but it's really fun.
It is very difficult.
Yeah, it demands a lot of you. So when I'm feeling up for a challenge, that's a good one to jump into and just go for it. And now that I have my Pro controller, my Switch Pro controller.
Oh, yeah, you're ready to be a pro gamer.
Those buttons, man. Seriously, I could write like a dissertation on those buttons. They feel so good. Why don't all other video game controller buttons feel that good?
It does make all other buttons feel a little bit less than.
This is going to sound weird, but it feels like when I'm pressing those buttons, I'm like pushing down on a giant sweet tart.
I get that.
Right?
The density and the like size of it is pretty similar.
Yeah, it just encompasses. It's like the same circumference as my thumb pad. It just feels right.
You've long complained that like controller sizes are not built for you.
I got big hands.
I can confirm this.
Got big hands. So this one just feels it checks all the boxes.
It's good. I like that controller.
Good controller. Yeah. And Cuphead is a joy. But one small gripe with the game.
Yeah.
It's amazing, but I want to be able to focus on the amazing artwork more than I can in the game because I have to just put my visual attention on what's going to kill me as opposed to...
You've got no time to look and observe.
So that's my one small gripe with the game is that it looks so cool that I want to be able to watch it more than I can because it's so difficult.
Before having to fend off the hordes of monsters again. I've got like a melting pot of video games that I'm currently sort of sifting through at the moment.
All right.
I'm still on The Witcher. I'm still, I guess I haven't talked about any of the other ones. So, I'm on The Witcher.
Still witching? Feeling good on it still?
I'm still feeling The Witch. It's a good game.
Mm-hmm.
I briefly played through Journey to the Savage Planet.
Journey to the... I haven't even heard of this game. What is this?
It's like it's like in the same vein as like Subnautica, where like you're on a hostile place and you have to like get materials and craft shit and do better.
Okay.
It's not quite as open as like a Minecraft or like Rust or something like that, but has specific objectives to it and like you can kind of see what you need to do next.
Okay, got it.
But it's on like an alien world.
Sure.
It's pretty good. It's not particularly long. I'm enjoying that one.
Okay.
I've also been digging through Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
DBZ boy.
DBZ boy. I couldn't let it go unplayed. I
get it.
Got a lot of weird feelings about that game because there's parts of it that are so good.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
So polished and so well done. And there's other parts that are so bad and make no sense.
No.
And make it feel like not a very good game. So it's like both.
Okay.
There's one game I need to talk about what I've been playing. But real quick on Kakarot. Quick rundown. The game takes you through most of the Dragon Ball Z story in a pretty concise and complete way.
Yeah.
Like, they don't leave a lot out, and it's told in a way that's not just like skipping over and being what am I trying to say? They don't like summarize very much of it. It's all pretty like concise in what it's doing.
Sure.
Which is good. And some of the cutscenes and some of the like parts of the game look so much like the anime and look so clean and good that it's like, damn, this looks fantastic. And other times it's like, damn, that fight felt really good and like impactful and great. The combat isn't particularly deep, but I don't think I need it to be particularly deep. Like
you just need to look cool.
I need to look cool and be able to do the moves, and like that's fine. That's really all I need. So it's marketed as an RPG.
Okay.
That is true in the sense that you gain levels and get stronger. And that part of it is super, super good. Super cool that you can gain levels and feel stronger than the next guy. Because like
that's Dragon Ball Z.
It's Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, it's so tied to what is part of that story that like you'll come back after having fought somebody and you got like 5 levels.
Yeah.
Because you were like, you got your ass kicked and you're way stronger than everybody else. And you just beat ass for a little while. Like nobody can touch you. And that feels fantastic. Like,
okay. Yeah.
Coming back as Goku, like after he got, all his ass kicked and you know the story.
I get it. You say no more.
Yeah. However, you can't really like grind for levels and like just overpower yourself. Like most of the experience and level dumps come at predetermined spots in the game. And so a lot of the other fights and a lot of the side quests end up feeling pretty meaningless because you're like, well, they're just going to dump like 5 levels on me here in a second. And it's going to take me an hour to get 2 if I just go and grind dudes. So like,
F that.
Yeah. So it kind of ends up feeling a little cheap.
Kind of like they're controlling the experience.
Yeah, like they might as well just not give you a level and say like, okay, now you're stronger than that guy.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, that makes sense.
The effect of feeling stronger is still there, and it's really cool in like certain spots, but I think the way that they do it's kind of like cheap to how it should be done, at least in my opinion.
Sure, I hear you. I hear you loud and clear.
But yeah, I'll give that one a roundup at some point once I'm done with it. However, the game that I have been just digging deep, I'm back in Dark Souls.
Numero uno.
It came out for the Switch. Like
you buy all those Switch remakes.
I just eat them things up, man. I eat them up. They're so good.
You are now Chase the Switch remaster Albie.
I love that sort of stuff. I would always do the like Nintendo DS hacks to like get older games on them so I could play older shit and like just replay through things I've played a million fucking times.
You've always been the more replayable of the two of us.
That's true. I do enjoy a good replay. Mm-hmm. But generally of games that are kind of like older, like I have a hard time replaying stuff that I played through within the last like 5 to 10 years.
Okay, sure.
However, I don't think I got very far in Dark Souls the first time I played it.
You never beat it?
No, I certainly didn't.
Oh, I remember I rented it off Gamefly. Shout out Gamefly, and it was just lost on me. It was just lost on me. To be quite honest, I sent it back. I tried really hard.
Yeah.
To get into it, but just the repetition of the dying and going back to like the very beginning.
Yeah.
Just didn't sit well with high school version of me. But I'd be curious to see how it would feel nowadays because it is such a classic.
It's really weird and interesting replaying it because like the last From Software game that both you and I played was Sekiro, which was like so good.
Amazing. Loved it.
So good. And like took a lot of like modern game design stuff and put it in that game. And so it was I don't know. Sekiro just felt really current and
modern.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. A lot of stuff in Dark Souls 1 feels really old. Feels like very antiquated. And like the core part of that game of like there are these checkpoints that you go to, you unlock some more shit, you fight dudes, and if you die, they all come back, and then you have to fight a very difficult boss. Mm-hmm. Like that's still there, and that's still there in Sekiro, right? Like that like loop of game is still pretty good and pretty satisfying. Mm-hmm. But fuck, they just explain nothing to you. You get absolutely nothing as a way of an introduction, how to play, what to do, where to go, and like some of that's good. Mm-hmm. I like not really knowing where to go. Yeah. Like, because it's like, just go fucking explore, kill some dudes and die and go back and try and find a place. But like something as simple as like using a bow and arrow is hard. I had to look up on the internet, what's the button to go into first person mode to shoot an arrow?
Really?
I had no idea.
Damn.
The answer was that you had to get your bow and arrow, like draw an arrow before you could go first person and then hit L1. Whereas if you just hit L1 before then, he would like kind of punch a little bit. And I'm like, well, that's not it. And like I pressed every button and I just couldn't fucking do it. It's like the game just gives you absolutely nothing in the beginning when it's like, here's your class selection. I'm like, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that's going to affect down the road. You get nothing. And
I remember all that thinking back to it now. Yeah.
I get that it's like like some people really enjoy that it's like a lot of exploration, both physically and mechanically. You have to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
But I liked the balance that Sekiro struck of like, it didn't really tell you where to go. There weren't that many places to go, but like, it was like, all right, we'll go fucking figure it out. Like,
Yeah.
you go down there and see if you can get there. But at the very least, there was an explanation of the mechanics of the game.
And there was a comprehensible story.
Yeah. And to be fair, I don't have a ton of gripes about the story in Dark Souls. I kind of like that it's like obscured a little bit. You kind of have to dig for it.
Yeah, you have to dig hard.
And like, that's okay. I kind of like the idea of it's like not readily available, but it is there.
Mm-hmm.
But I do enjoy it when Sekiro's like, here's what's happening, y'all. Here's what we're doing in this game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I will say about that game, the level design holds up so fucking good. So good.
Okay. All right.
You know the parts in Skyrim where you go through a dungeon and at the very end of the dungeon, you like hit a ladder and it's like,
you
hey,
pop
you're
out back to the
beginning.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. That Dark Souls has that in spades, but in like multiple locations. You'll go through a door and you're like, whoa, I'm back here? Like, that's cool. I just unlocked an entirely different way to like get to another part of the map.
I do love that.
That's really nice. Good.
Interconnected map, always good.
Speaking of which, that is my video game podtimistic thing of the week, is a good interconnected map.
Okay.
It's the moments in Skyrim. It's this thing in Dark Souls. I know it's happened other places, but where like you can explore, get to one spot, and then it unlocks this like other way to get to the whole world rather than just another level.
Mm-hmm.
Real good stuff. Real good stuff.
Hell yeah.
What's your podtimistic thing of the week?
Making me love.
Making you love the party you're in.
Making me love my Pokés.
When you think of the best party you've had in a video game, what's your best party? Like your group of characters.
Like the most powerful or the ones that I'd like want to get buck wild with in Vegas?
The ones you were straight vibing with.
The ones I was straight vibing with. Okay.
I'll tell you mine right off the front to maybe jog your memory.
Okay. Give it to me.
It's Mass Effect 2.
Oh, fuck.
There was a lot of different kinds of combinations of squads in there that I would vibe with.
That was a good vibe. That was a great game.
Morden's the man. Jacob's the man. Miranda is the man.
Don't talk to me about Morden. I still pour one out for Morden every time I think about him.
He did what needed to be done.
Did you know Billie Eilish's mom was the voice of Justicar Samara?
Whoa! I did not. I was preparing myself for a pretty wild fact, and that one still took me off guard.
Right?
Yeah.
It was funny. I was reading that on some video game news site the other day, and I was struck by how easily I remembered who that character was. I just saw a picture of her, and I knew her name, what her title was, what that title meant in her race, and what her race was.
Yeah.
I remembered all of it. She was an Asari Justicar, and she went out serving justice to fuckers.
Mass Effect is a very good game.
That's a great game. I was just like,
good
damn.
writing.
Like, that's 10 years ago. More than 10 years ago. Mass Effect 2.
Yeah.
That was high school.
What's your best party?
I just need a second here. I just need to remember games that have had parties in them. My best party, Mario Party. No, I don't know. Hold on. That's not the
That was
going
to be the segue I was going to use. Could you count the dudes from like Sly Cooper as a party? Like they're a squad.
Oh, they're a squad. They're not a party.
Okay. All right.
Like the same with Stormtrooper Commando. Whatever that was. That was
damn. That was a good party though.
Those guys were. That was a squaw.
It was a squaw. It was a squaw.
It wasn't a party. That was a squaw.
Speaking of parties,
Pokemon.
No. Yes. Also Pokemon, but not where I was going.
Well, wait. Can I just say one thing?
Say one thing
about a party that I'm gonna pour one out to right now.
Okay.
Pokemon Y. I think I had Pokemon Y.
Yeah.
I left my Nintendo DS on an airplane.
Oh man, you left your party.
I left my party on the airplane. Didn't get turned back in. Someone took it.
That's brutal.
You know how I know they took it?
Because you saw them online.
No, I didn't
How?
see them online. They changed my Mii from my DS, and I saw it on my Wii U. They made
That's
it really...
not David? Who is this?
They made it... They kept my face the same, except they made it fat and short, maximum fat, maximum short, with big kissy lips and a mole.
Oh, no.
And that's when I knew that they had erased over my Pokemon Y party, because you only have one save.
Yeah, no, your party got deleted. They're gone.
Gone forever.
Wow.
So if you're listening to this, whoever you are,
I'm coming for you.
insert Liam Neeson's monologue from Taken right there.
You don't know who I am, but that Pokemon squad was everything I had, and it hurt my feelings real bad, and I'm gonna get you.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna get you.
Oh my god. I don't think that's the monologue, but okay.
Speaking of parties...
Speaking of parties, yes.
We should move on to our main segment.
Birthday parties.
Welcome to the main segment.
Bar mitzvah parties.
Bar mitzvah parties. No, it's it's called Good Games, where we
Christmas parties.
Remember the okayest games of yesteryear and gush about the things that we loved about them, and maybe provide some feedback about what they could do better. And today, not birthday parties, not bar mitzvah parties.
Mario?
Yahoo! It's Mario Party time.
It's Mario Party.
We're going to talk about Mario Party, specifically Mario Party 2, but I think you could probably lump in Mario Party 3 because it's ostensibly pretty much the same thing with different skins on it and a couple.
They're the same. They're the same. They have new mini games, but
Yeah.
it's the same mechanics.
It's the same thing.
The same awful controls.
And the same awful controls. This game, I realize a lot of this is probably not a niche indie darling. Does anybody else remember Mario Party 2?
Mm-hmm.
But it's worth talking about to understand not only a very goodest game, okayest game from yesteryear, but also the relationship between David and I.
Oh, it's pretty crucial to understand who we are.
On the bylines in Wikipedia for our characters on the internet, you would find Mario Party cited a few places. I feel like big thunderous events have taken place in Mario Party.
Truly, shakes the foundation of our relationship. Truly.
Do you have a guess for when this game came out?
Mario Party 2?
Yeah,
1995.
The Nintendo 64 was not yet out in 1995.
Damn it.
I believe.
1998.
It came out on December 17th of 1999.
99.
99.
Okay.
It was developed by Hudson Soft, who pumped out so many video games over the years. I think they must be like not a publishing, but there must
Like
have
a
been
puppy
lot of people,
factory, but for video games?
something like they just made so many fucking video games. And specifically for a lot for Nintendo.
Mm-hmm. Are they an American company? Hudson? Like Hudson River?
Hudson was a Japanese video game company that released numerous games for video game consoles, home computers, mobile phones, mainly from the 1980s to the 2000s. So they were in it for a while.
Got it.
But they were Japanese based. They have so many fucking video games. There is a separate Wikipedia article for there's an article for Hudson Soft, and then there's a separate Wikipedia article just for the fucking games they put out, because there's so many. There's so many of these fucking video games.
Damn, okay. I had no idea.
They were moving and grooving. I'm going to see if I can find the ones that they just put out for the N64.
The 90s were good for Hudson, apparently.
No, they were working. They had a lot of shit to do. For Nintendo 64 alone, they put out Bomberman 64, Dual Heroes, J-League 11, Beat 97, Bomberman Hero, Get Her Love, Cho Renai Party Game Tanjo, Mario Party, Star Soldier, Vanishing Earth, Bomberman 64, The Second Attack, Mario Party 2, Robot Pankatsu 64, Last Legion UX, Mario Party 3, and Bomberman 64 2001 version.
Why are there so many Bomberman 64s?
Just can't stop putting these games out.
There were 3 or 4 Bomberman 64s.
There was 4. They put one out. They put one out in 97, 98, 99, and 2001. Like they were
97,
just like,
98,
get it moving. We gotta put out more fucking Bombermans. These things are so like hotcakes.
Damn.
Put more out.
Each one Bomberman 64.
In 2002, they put out 2 Bomberman games for GameCube. In 2003, Bomberman Land 2. They were obsessed. These guys love Bomberman.
Bomberman, hot take. I'm sorry. I never
not
really
liked
Bomberman.
Not a good game.
Who liked Bomberman?
It's a fun like arcade game. Like it's fun to play against other people, but like, how are you gonna extract that into its own game? They made so many of these games.
Bomberman always felt like if like an older person, to me as a young kid at this time, took the game Minesweeper and took all the strategy out of it and turned it into like a 3D game. That's what Bomberman felt like to me as a child.
Yeah, it seemed a little like games could do more than this. Whenever I played Bomberman, I'm like, there's more than this. Like,
and they always made it look so cool.
Yeah. I don't understand it all.
And then I saw it. I'm just like, this is Bomberman? This is this thing I hear so much about? I was pretty disappointed as a child, but that's neither here nor there. We're talking about parties right now.
We're talking about Mario Party. So this game, the reviews for it are just all over the place. At the time,
still are to this day.
They still are to this day. People like really gave it a bunch of weird ass reviews. Like GamePro, the magazine, gave it a 5 out of 5. GamePro, rest in peace.
I'm sorry, having a moment for GamePro right now.
The fun factor was all the way at the top.
Oh, the fun factor. Oh God, sorry. Wait, one more moment for GamePro.
All right.
Okay, continue. For some reason I knew that was a song you were going to start doing.
It's
I just knew it.
Appropriate choice.
Yep. Thank you for giving me that moment.
Game Informer gave it a 5.25 out of 10. An F. Like the ranges of games here are pretty significant.
Damn, Game Informer.
So the reviews are just all over the place on this one. I found a review from, I think it is a Dutch or German outlet called Game Cult.
Game Cult?
I think so. It's spelled with a K.
Okay.
And they reviewed Mario Party 2 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
They reviewed it, I think, in Dutch. I ran it through Google Translate, and I would like to read for you the...
Wait, did you really?
Yeah. I ran it through Google Translate, and we're going to see what they had to say.
I'm just appreciating your commitment to research
for
this right now. That's amazing. I appreciate you so much. Continue.
Mario Party 2, intended for multiplayer and accessible to everyone like other titles in the genre, offers many minigames, varied and very fun, in front of which you can already predict how many hours of play, whether with family or friends, provided that the slow, tedious, and unfortunately unavoidable game of the goose that coats the minigames does not scare you away.
The goose?
Let a player devote himself to stick to it and unlock all the minigames. Then, playable independently, and Mario Party 2 will finally be able to honor its vocation, to entertain young and old together. 50 out of 100. Why did they give it that review? That sounded all right.
Yeah, that sounded okay. And then it's like, no, but actually it's an F.
But this is a pile of shit, this video.
That's funny.
God. So is it... can you describe to me the game of Mario Party? For those who don't know, I assume most people know what this game is, but just as a simple reduction of what the actual mechanics are.
It's essentially a electronic board game, right? So you choose a character from the Mario Party universe, and you roll dice by pressing buttons, and you walk across a board, depending on the space that you land on, different things will happen to you, either good or bad. You can gain coins, which are the currency. You can lose coins. You can be given the chance to steal the coins from other players. Or you can do what is the fun part of the game, the mini games. So there's
That's true.
what, like 50, 60 mini games?
I think something like that.
Somewhere
yeah.
around there in each game.
It was enough that they didn't feel like you played them a ton, but you would recognize like, oh, I've played this one before.
Yeah, you would, after like 3 or 4 rounds, you would start seeing some that would pop up pretty frequently.
Yeah.
And you would play those mini games to earn coins, and then the coins would allow you to buy stars, which were the real way to win the game.
Yeah.
So whoever had the most stars by the end was the Mario Party winner.
He was the king or queen of the party.
What was it? The shining star? The superstar.
Superstar.
The
I think is
superstar,
what
they would call
the
you.
verbiage was there.
Yes.
The actual specific mechanics of this game, I think, are pretty simple. They're not super complicated.
No.
What I will appreciate, and I will say time and time again when we talk about this, is the fucking metagame that appears out of nowhere. Pretty much the second you start playing with anybody else is just delectable.
It's all meta.
It's delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can choose to play the game pretty straight of like, I'm just going to try and get some coins and get some stars and, you know, whatever happens.
Mm-hmm.
But there's pretty specific places where you can choose, I think I'm just going to fuck somebody up. I think I'm going to throw a wrench in their whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of a microcosm of the capitalist life. Right? Everyone is just grinding on their own. And then every once in a while, one person, through just sheer luck, gets the ability to fuck other people over for the betterment of themselves.
Sometimes, though. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes you just fuck somebody else up because, like...
That's true. You see them as a threat.
It's not always a zero-sum game. You can kind of just be like, I don't know, fuck that guy. I don't like him.
That's a fair point.
So, like, over time, the game changes, and depending on what friend group you're playing with, right? Like,
true.
I've played with different friend groups that are like, no, we don't steal stars. That's not a thing we do.
What?
Soft.
Who is this?
Soft. So soft.
What do you mean you ain't gonna steal a star?
Our friend group tends to, I feel like it's fairly honorable, but there is no one pulls their punches. Like,
no, you can't. You just all got a gun.
Yeah, like
That's the way to play. Sorry.
The metagame that develops with us is like, it's generally try and kill who's ever in first.
Yeah. Take down the leader so that the proletariat may rise up.
But it shifts on a dime. Like, oh, this guy's in first. Oh, they got a star less. Time to kill the next person.
Truly.
But there's like a secondary metagame that starts showing up if you play enough.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain people in our group that tend to win more often than not. And I've experienced firsthand the ire that starts to develop.
I'm already getting riled up right now just thinking about it.
The heat comes on, and before anyone has even rolled a dice, the whole party has collectively said, we have to stop
Chase Albee.
Some person. Sometimes it's me.
Chase Albee.
If I'm not playing, it's usually Garen. There's for those at home, that's our one Garen shout out of the week.
Yep, that's the one. Garen, you are our only hope against the tyranny of Donkey Kong and Mario Party.
So I don't like, other than like competitive fighting games, I don't, or like, you know, shooters or something like that. I don't know of a lot of games where that sort of like fluid of a meta shows up around a game.
It's true.
I think usually because it shows up, it's a consequence of playing a game a lot. Like you end up putting a lot of hours into it. And so you see like how people play rather than like what you're playing.
True.
Like everybody's got pretty good at the mechanics and we all have a grasp of how to play and what to do. And then at a certain point, it's like, well, we can kind of just play this straight, but I can choose to kind of fuck with other people and like play to my strengths and play to their weaknesses in a way that will kind of change how this game goes.
Totally.
I find that fascinating. I find that such a cool idea for a game that on its surface presents itself as like, it's for fun. It's a fun party game. Yay. Yay. They're having a party. It's Mario. But underneath it, it's like, hey, do you want to die?
Yeah, dude. It's like the
Yoshi's gonna stab you in an alleyway for 10 fucking coins.
Yeah.
That's this game.
Because everyone's gunning for the top spot. That's when the real magic happens. If everybody who is playing is trying as hard as they can to get first.
Yeah, no holds barred.
No holds barred. No, we don't steal stars around here. Soft shit. Okay, I'm sorry, whoever you are, if you do that. I'm sure you're a lovely person, but that's just not how I play Mario Party.
That's not how you play Mario.
That's just not how you do it. It's not how the game wants you to do it. It's like the good seasons of Game of Thrones. That's kind of what happens in Mario Party. There's backstabbing, there's people lying to each other, there's deceit.
There's weird sorts of alliances that start to show up too.
Yeah, there's weird alliances, and then there are catastrophic events that will just shake not only just the game, but your belief in God himself.
The landscape of your reality changes.
Truly. Like, what was that? That one time there was a chance time, and it was like someone took like almost all of your stars and gave them to themselves.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
It's incredible when it happens, yeah.
That was amazing. You went from first to dead last so quick.
There's a mechanic in the game called chance time where it essentially like you will roll dice who something will go to, what goes to that person, and sometimes it's like coins or sometimes it's like nothing, like you just roll nothing. But there was a specific instance where somebody rolled that I gave them all of my stars. If I remember correctly, I had a lot at the time.
You had like 3 or 4 or something like that. It was
a monumental shift. Like,
yeah, and it's like you have to time it right to get each thing correctly. And so the first one is the easiest one, and the slowest moving dice is choose who is going to give up something. And then it gets harder to choose what they give up. It could be coins, it could be nothing, it could be stars. They chose 3 stars, and then the hardest one is to choose who it goes to. And they chose themselves. It was beautiful.
It was great.
It was beautiful.
I enjoyed that one too. The loss stung at the time, but in hindsight, that's a very, very good memory.
I still feel like you ended up getting second because you always get those
that's a distinct possibility,
special stars at the end. Bastard.
I've thought about like what would a game like this look like if it wasn't developed explicitly with like children in mind. Because I think by and large Mario parties are still aimed at like this should be playable by kids. Like
true.
A 7-year-old should be able to pick this game up and kind of play, right?
Yeah.
And like the more I thought about that, like you would have to start considering things like balance and how to kind of even the playing field.
Would you though?
That's where I go to is it's so much of its charm is that it's just so fucking unbalanced.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you'll just the luck of the draw will straight up kill you. Like your game is done because you just
it's great. Like, it's beautiful.
It's so strange that like in any other game, if it was so tilted towards one player, I would always be pissed. If Overwatch played like that, I wouldn't play Overwatch. Like
exactly. Yeah. It's kind of like the game takes no favorites except for who does well consistently.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of like chaos neutral, but it will still fuck anyone over.
Yeah, it doesn't say like, oh, you've been playing good? That's fine. It'll say you're playing good. I don't care. It's time to die, friend.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So it's a weird thought experiment to think about what this game would look like if you tried to design it harder. Mm-hmm. And I think it definitely benefits from it being kind of tailored towards kids and like a lot of RNG in this game.
So much RNG. Roll the dice.
Have we talked about what's bad about it? I feel like I've only just been gushing about how good Mario Party is.
You've been talking about how good the social interactions that the game create is.
Yeah, the meta that it creates. You're right.
The actual physical playing of the game is kind of garbage most of the time.
It's not great. It's not great.
Like, you have to... If you are a novice to the game and it's the first time you've played, you are going to win absolutely 0 of the mini games. You'll win none of them. Even if you practice like multiple times beforehand, anyone who is skilled or like has experience of the game will just mop the floor with you.
It's true. If you've played those mini games more than once, you have a distinct advantage.
Yeah, it's just not the same. And just the control schemes are so weird for some of them, and just things don't work the way you think they should work. It's just classic weird Nintendo controls.
Some of that's just like magic for me though, because like if all of them controlled well, it might not be as fun. I kind of like that you get in there and you're like, I don't even know which way I'm supposed to be moving right now. The control stick doesn't do what I think it does. The A button like somehow moves me forward. Like
I would say it's part of its charm.
Yeah, but it's not.
But it's not
competent.
good. A good mechanic, like that
That's
one
true.
game where you're like a water scooter, like water bug, and you have to click that weird sequence of up A, down A, up B, down B.
That is the sequence.
Yeah.
That is it.
It's so confusing, and the visual input of it telling you what to do on screen is just makes it worse. It makes it so much more confusing somehow by trying to help you. And it's just like, that is just the game in a nutshell, is that the more it tries to explain things, the more I'm confused as to how to actually do it.
It's perfect.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful mess.
I know that they've released this. There's like a newer version that's on Switch. I've played it. Have you played it?
I played it once, yeah, a couple times I think.
Pretty good. But that said, if you had to improve on the 1999 version, the Mario Party 2, what might you do a little bit better?
Like if I did a remaster today,
maybe, or like if you were in 1999 and they were like, "Hey, David, child, we need your help. We have this video game, and you have the mind of a 30-year-old man." Because you went back in time.
A child with the mind of a 30-year-old man. What a powerful being that would be. What would I say? Find a way to not make every game control so differently and so uniquely like garbage. Like each one controls like its own brand of hot garbage.
Yeah, that's true.
In a way, which is part of the challenge and part of the charm.
Yeah.
But if you could have like some common threads of movement, of perspective,
that's fair.
Anything like that, just to lessen the burden of the initial process of playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That would be pretty nice.
Yep.
What else would I change? I guess just describe things more clearly if you can. Right? Because things are confusing.
That's true.
How you use words to describe things is not helpful. But I guess they did put in the like you can test it or practice it.
I thought that was a good idea.
That was a good idea. But still, sometimes I would practice it and I would still be so lost about how I did what I did.
The most recent Switch one I thought was pretty good because it launched into the minigame in practice mode, like right when you pulled it up.
Gotcha.
So you could like kind of fuck with it before you had to go into like the actual game.
Mm-hmm.
And so rather than launching into like, here's a practice mode, it takes a little while to load. It's like you can kind of just fuck around with the controls right when you get to the screen where it's like, here's what the game is. And I thought that was pretty good way of doing that.
That is good. I like the RNG. Maybe more RNG.
I kind of wish there was like just a sprinkling, a little bit more. Like,
yeah, just a little bit more chaos, just so that people like you didn't have such an advantage.
What do you mean people like me?
People who have this strange ability to vibrate their finger, which makes them almost impossible to beat in some mini games.
I'm just straight vibing, man.
You are vibing hard. Yeah, just a little bit more chaos. Because don't pretend like this game's is 100% about skill. It's about luck more than anything else, with a mixture of skill in it. I just want a little bit more luck put in there, just for like some crazy shit to happen.
I think there's a good way they could do that of like allow people to take more risks to fuck people over at the risk of themselves. Like,
ooh,
you can try
like more of those duels.
Yeah, or like you can say you go up to the spot where you can steal a star.
Mm-hmm.
You can steal 1 for 50 coins, but you can try and steal 2, but there's a chance you might lose 1 or something like that, right? Where like you can try to be more fucked up or stuff like that, but it comes at the cost of yourself.
A deal with the devil, you would say.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I like that idea.
Some deeper fuckery.
Higher stakes.
Yeah.
I like that. That.
But yeah, overall, great game. Reviewed super weird, but God, do I love it.
It's an okay game with a great social connotation. That's where the magic of the game is. It's your friendships being tested.
I wish there were more games like it. Didn't Fusion Frenzy kind of try and do it, but it wasn't quite as good?
They did a pretty good job, I thought, but definitely not the same thing. I don't know why other studios haven't tried.
I genuinely think the happy-go-lucky art style is important to it.
Yeah, because I was just thinking, like, what would an adult version of this look like if you could do like a Game of Thrones skin of a Mario Party? Like, that wouldn't feel the same at all. That would be just like sad and disturbing.
Yeah, it would like hurt your friendships, whereas like the conceit of the game is don't take this too seriously.
Yeah, like this is a game.
Well, hell yeah. Do you have any other parting thoughts for Mario Party?
I had a lot of FOMO about your Mario Party. I wanted to be there.
You're always invited.
I wanted it in my life.
Yeah. There was a peach shaped hole in my heart.
I would have been a great peach.
I know. We should have another one. Have another party and bring you up.
I'll be there.
Sick. You want to move on to our next thing?
Yeah, let's do it.
Did we have a name for this segment?
I don't think we have a name for this one.
I don't think we have a name for this one either, nor an intro. So,
let's call it
the absolutely not a derivative of Drunk History segment.
Stone Cold Sober History.
Stone Cold Retelling.
Stone Cold Recollection.
These are bad names. Stupid stories.
No, it's not stupid. That's a negative connotation.
No, but we're getting stupid.
How about rum recollections?
Okay. You
like that one?
Rum recollections is good. I love alliteration.
At least it's at least a good placeholder if we decide to do something else.
That's fair. So the concept behind the segment is that we take a story of a video game and make it difficult to recall in our bodies.
Because we are rum collecting it.
You may have heard at the beginning of this show when I told you about how I was playing Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, I heard.
Let's do that one. We're pretending like we didn't already talk about it. We talked about the part we were going to do.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
So, we are going to, the best of our ability, tell you about the story involved in the Saiyan saga of Dragon Ball Z. It's technically a show. That was a show.
But it's also a game.
But it's been in so many fucking video games that I'm going to count it. And it's as something we can do.
Truly. I believe it. There's been so many Dragon Ball Z games. And the Saiyan saga is such a classic saga that it's
classic.
It's part of video game history now too.
It's canon. It's lore. Uh-huh. It's part of it. Have you ever seen that meme over 9,000? That's from the Saiyan saga.
That's from
baby. That's from the Saiyan saga. They don't make memes like that.
And
anymore.
It's got memes. My God.
They don't make these memes like they used to.
They don't make them like they used to. That's for sure.
There's a little bit of background we need to do about the Dragon Ball Z world before we get into what the fuck happens in the Saiyan saga.
What do we need to give background on? Garen knows Dragon Ball Z.
Garen does know Dragon Ball Z. For the other maybe listener that we've picked up between then, need to explain what happens in this world. The first thing.
Dragons.
Dragons are a thing. and they have balls that you can collect and make a wish.
Yeah, if you ask nicely.
If you ask nicely.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, the galaxy is like full of stuff.
The galaxy is full of stuff.
They got like planets and races and stuff, and like people can fly if they're good enough. They're real strong.
Yeah, if you're good enough, you can fly.
If you're good enough, you can fly.
Which isn't untrue, because with the Nimbus cloud, you have to have a pure heart to fly on it.
That's true. There is a race of people called Saiyans. They're tough boys.
They're humans with tails that can turn into big monkeys.
And they do really good punches to each other.
And other people.
And other people, not just each other. That's true.
Yeah.
If they yell, they get strong.
They get real strong.
Yeah. If they get beat up, they get strong.
If they almost die, they get strong.
If they kiss a lover on the lips, they get strong.
Don't we all?
That's my headcanon. They didn't actually say that in the show, but that's what I think.
I'll allow it.
Okay. There used to be a ton of those boys, ton of Saiyans, but the evil Lord Frieza, who's like a fish with a tail, but like looks like a human, who's also just jacked.
Do you think he's like a reptile?
I have no idea what he's supposed to be.
What do you think his skin feels like?
Smooth, very smooth and cold.
Dry? Or a little moist?
A little moist. I think it's just a little damp to the touch.
Like an amphibian.
Like an amphibian.
What do you think his head feels like, that blue part on his head?
Soft. No, smooth, not soft.
Like a jewel?
Like an orb.
Like an orb.
Frieza's a bad guy in this world.
He's a very bad guy. He might be the worst guy.
He killed all the Saiyans. The Saiyans were like, hey, I think he made them work for him, and then they're like, I don't think we want to do that anymore. And then he's like, well, I've got a surprise for you.
It's a big old ball of death.
It is a ball of death. He killed them all. Except for like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, and they just keep on adding more secret Saiyans now. It's just, it's pretty ridiculous. But anyway, okay. I think that's enough ground. I think we're up. I think we're kind of there. Now we're ready. Scene. A spaceship hurtling from the exploding planet Vegeta towards a twinkling blue and green planet in the Milky Way galaxy on the end of one of its spiral arms. Inside of it, Son Goku, a Saiyan. Actually, not Son Goku, Kakarot.
He's just a little baby at the time.
A Saiyan child who has been sent out to conquer and devastate the planet from which he lands on. Planet Earth, our planet. But upon arrival, his spaceship crashes and he hits his head. And it's the most fortuitous case of head injury.
Of brain injury.
That ever happened. Of TBI that ever happened in history. As he becomes our greatest savior ever.
Earth punched the bad out of him. Upon impact, Earth said, no.
You're going to be ours now.
You're a good boy.
You're a good man.
Tiny baby Goku said, yeah, yes I am.
Sounds good.
The next 20 or so years are what happens in Dragon Ball. We're just going to flash forward because for our purposes, none of that shit matters. We'll tell you when it matters.
He does some crazy shit. He's strong. He's a strong boy.
He's a strong boy.
And becomes an even stronger man.
At the beginning of the Saiyan saga, where our story begins, Goku has had a baby.
A wee baby.
A wee baby named Gohan, which is the name of his, grandpa?
His adopted father figure.
Right.
Yeah, Gohan.
Who they call Grandpa Gohan, who is just going to say, that's a name I've heard, and names his child that.
Pretty much. He's kind of an idiot.
They have the idea, hey, let's go see what's up with all my old friends, my old pals that I would pal around with, and we'd beat each other up.
Wait, hold on just 1 second.
Yeah.
Do you think Goku's so dumb because he had a head injury when he was just a newborn child?
I'm not convinced Goku can read.
So you're telling me yes?
I'm telling you yes. I think he's stunted in a lot of ways.
I've just had this revelation just now.
He's kind of a dumb dude.
He's dumb because he had a traumatic brain injury as a child.
That's certainly the darker and more realistic take on him getting the bad punched out of him.
It's my headcanon now.
Okay, that's fair. He is dumb.
Everyone talks about it. They say he's a dumb guy who just likes to fight. That sounds like someone with a traumatic brain injury to me.
Oh, man.
Anyways, Goku's a football player.
Anyway, Goku's a football player with a heart of gold and a pure soul because he can fly on a cloud. That's true.
It's true. He flies on a cloud. This is a true fact.
Because he's a good guy.
He's so good, a sentient cloud lets him ride on it.
And his son. His son is also pure of heart.
Very pure.
So it counts. They go and they see his old buddies, his old trainer, Master Roshi, who's an old pervert. They see his good friend Krillin, who's like small and doesn't have any hair. They see
Bulma,
a lady he met when he was like young, I think.
Yeah,
and she was also young.
She was there. She tried to flash him to get him to give her the Dragon Ball,
and he didn't care about boobs, if I remember correctly.
He didn't care about nothing
except fighting.
Yeah,
because he's a stunted man.
This is a sad retelling now.
It's a sad retelling. My headcanon says Goku's smart and he chooses to be dumb.
Okay, let's change this now. Also, football players aren't dumb and just want to fight. Y'all are brilliant too.
It's true. You can be so smart in the way that you hit, just like Goku.
Mm-hmm.
They go to this place to see their friends, and a man appears. He shows up.
A man with long hair, kind of similar to if Goku had long hair.
That's true. What's his name?
Radish.
It's Raditz. This is a bad name for a bad guy.
It's a bad name for a bad guy who also happens to be our hero's long-lost brother.
I forgot about this part.
You forgot about that part?
Yeah.
Really?
I thought he was just an asshole who showed up.
Nah, dude, he's Goku's brother.
Goku's brother.
Yeah.
And he proceeds, I'm skipping ahead a little bit, to kill him.
Well, kind of.
They kill him.
Raditz doesn't kill him.
No, Goku holds his brother down while a man named Piccolo shoots a very special beam through him.
Is Piccolo a man?
I don't know.
Piccolo's not a man. He's a Namekian.
Do they have gender?
I think they're all dudes.
Now that you're saying it, I don't remember a lot, like particularly.
Are there any
female?
No, because I think they're all one gender because they lay eggs. They like spit eggs out of their mouth.
Dude, whoa.
Yeah.
So there isn't a gender. It's just Namekians.
They're just Namekians.
Damn.
Namekians are green people with antennae.
They are.
Who have extendy arms and can regenerate themselves.
And Goku has a friend named Piccolo who...
semi-friend in this one.
Yeah, in the beginning they're like frenemies. Piccolo's convinced that he's going to kick Goku's ass.
Begrudging allies.
Yeah. Before we skip ahead, I do want to talk about the fact... No, let's skip ahead, because that fight doesn't last very long.
The Raditz fight?
Yeah, they just go into the desert and beat ass for a little while, and then Piccolo's like, hey, you should hold him. And then Goku holds him, and then he shoots a very special beam through both of them.
A very special beam cannon, you would say?
The names of these fucking attacks, man.
Special beam cannon! And that's my best Piccolo impersonation. It was awful.
It wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. You've had some really rough impersonations. Your Snoop Dogg from last episode was really rough.
My Snoop was... I apologize. If Snoop Dogg ever hears that for any reason, I profusely apologize. You sound nothing like that.
I hope he listens to both episodes so he can feel the full effect of your apology.
I'm tempted to just do a Snoop Dogg impersonation again, but I
Don't make it worse.
I just can't.
Don't make it worse. Your Piccolo is fine.
I can't sully the name.
That was a pretty serviceable Piccolo.
Thank you. One thing that is of note before we move on.
Yeah.
Raditz has a thing on his face.
Yes.
That lets him see the power level of anything that is living.
Power level meaning how good of a punch you can do.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing of note is that he abducted Goku's son, Gohan. And during their fight, Gohan got really mad when he saw Raditz beating up his dad, his uncle, and his father fighting. And did a very angry yell and got very strong and busted out of a spaceship that he was being held in and hit his uncle really hard in the gut with his head.
The idea of like your uncle and your dad getting in a fist fight is the most bodunk ass shit I've ever heard. Uncle Raditz and Daddy Goku is punching. I'm gonna hit him with my hand.
That's pretty
Stop
much what
that
happened.
fight right
That's
away.
pretty much what happened.
That's pretty much what happened.
And then he got really angry, yelled, got super strong. Uncle Raditz was very surprised at how strong he got.
Yep.
And then he just headbutted the shit out of his uncle.
If I remember correctly, that's right before Goku grabs him so he can die.
Yeah. So Goku's all like, I can't beat my brother, so Piccolo, kill us both with your cannon of beams that are special.
Which he does.
He does it really well. Very well,
He does it super good. Goku dies and goes to heaven, which, as it turns out, is kind of like just normal up there. It's really just like normal, but you have a halo over your head.
Mm-hmm. He still has his like physical body, essentially.
So two things happen at the same time. One, Goku goes and runs on a very long snake in heaven.
It's not an actual snake, though.
What is it?
It's just like a pathway.
Yeah, but it's like Snake Road.
Snake Way, please.
Snake Way. Snake Drive, Snake Boulevard. I walk a lonely road, on this Snake Boulevard I go.
That was a deep cut.
That's what Goku was listening to on the way while he was running on Snake Way. He runs on Snake Way all the way to the end, which they say I think is like, it takes a really fucking long time. Like it's like thousands of miles long.
Yeah. And he does it faster than anybody's ever done it.
At the end of it is a fat insect man who will teach him how to scream a lot better and get stronger.
A fat insect man, a regular old insect, and a monkey.
And a monkey.
On a tiny little planet.
That's what they do up there for a while. The context of that story is not important, but Goku gets stronger by being there.
He learns to scream good and get a red aura.
Yep. At the same time, Piccolo says, I need to train Gohan. Because at the end of their fight, Raditz was like, hey, I'm calling my bros. They're going to come beat your ass.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, yo, I'm calling I'm like a scrub compared to these other dudes.
He admits that he's weak, which is kind of wild. And he's like, these big boys are going to come get you.
Mm-hmm.
And Piccolo is like, yeah, okay, we need to train Gohan up. So...
Yeah, because Piccolo was very impressed by how Gohan yelled and headbutted his uncle.
It's true. That was a great headbutt, little guy.
Beautiful. A+.
You beat your uncle's butt real good.
Yeah, you made him cough spit up. It was great.
So Piccolo, what any loving father would do, leaves Gohan in the forest for 6 months and tells him to fend for himself.
He does. It was pretty metal what he did.
Nobody told his mom.
Yeah, where was
his
Chi-Chi
mom
in all of this?
She thought he was missing for 6 months. Nobody fucking told her.
Did she really think he was straight up missing?
I'm pretty sure nobody said anything to her.
Damn.
She's just like, where's my son? Not here today again. Well, whatever. Also, my husband's dead, I think. I don't know what that's about. But
Chi-Chi is truly a tragic character.
Seriously, she seems so mean in the show, but I get it, man.
Yeah.
Her life is so unpredictable at any point.
Living with all these weak-ass men. Physically strong, but emotionally.
I love my husband, but he dies every couple of years, which is just not tight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, Gohan survives. He's a tough 6 months older. He's stronger.
He's been eating dinosaur meat this whole time.
When 2 other mean men show up, they land on the planet.
They just fucking blow up a city like right off the bat.
They do. They come in real
just
hot.
murk a shit ton of people.
And Piccolo, the green person, and Gohan are like, well, we got to go find out what's up. Also, the old squad from Dragon Ball shows up. They're like, "What's up? It's us.
You got
it's
Krilly.
Me.
You got Yamcha.
You got Krilly.
You got Tien. You got Chaozu. You got them all.
You got a short guy with 6 dots on his head. You got a dude with a third eye on his forehead. You got a tiny little doll boy. You got shitty Goku.
You got Yamcha.
You got Yamcha, shitty Goku."
Actually, this saga spouted 2 memes. Also, the dead Yamcha meme.
Oh yeah, when him like laying
in the crater,
ground.
just dead.
That's true. So what happens is these 2 bros show up and they're like, "Yo, who are y'all? You're kind of strong, but you're still pretty shitty. We're gonna sick these little garden men on you." So they like grow these little garden bastards who come out of the ground and like, "We're gonna kill you."
Garden bastards.
And they fight them, and I think some of them do okay, but when Yamcha's like, when shitty Goku's like, "Hey, I won this fight," one of them, the little shitty, the garden bastard's like, "No, you didn't," and then just like explodes and kills Yamcha.
Kills the shit out of him.
Then, okay, so the 2 dudes, the 2 bad men, one of them is called Vegeta, one of them is called Nappa.
Nappa's big and bald.
Nappa's big.
Vegeta is short with spiky arrow hair.
Nappa beats ass for a while. I feel like he beats up most of these dudes.
He is considerably stronger than anybody else there and is making them look like children, essentially.
Yeah, he kind of wipes the floor with a lot of these guys. I think they try to put up a fight and they kind of do it, but like for the most part, he kind of kicks their ass.
Yeah, they can't compete. He's on another level.
Goku comes back somehow. Did they wish him back?
They wished him back. I think like before the battle, they wished him back, and it just took him a long time to come back from the other world because he didn't have instant transmission yet.
He had to run back on the snake.
He had to run back on Snake Way and then get on Nimbus to come on
the
over.
flying cloud who decides to let him ride him.
Mm-hmm.
So he comes back and in classic DBZ fashion, takes Nappa's face and just beats the shit out of it.
Yeah, he makes Nappa look like a little boy.
You may be big, son, but you ain't me. You ain't Goku. I scream real loud and I punch real good.
Yeah.
I beat up my brother last week.
I beat up my brother last weekend. You're next. I'm even stronger now.
I held on to him, and this green guy shot a hole through both of us. I'm the strongest man in the universe.
I'm so powerful, I beat up my older brother.
Have you ever beaten up your older brother? I think not, old man.
That was real strong boy.
He does actually beat Nappa's ass. He gets real strong. And at some point, Nappa's scouter reads out that his power level is in fact over 9,000.
It's over 9,000. That's where the meme comes from, everybody. Now you know.
Which is a shock to these guys. I don't really know the context for what power levels should be, but apparently that was quite high.
Yeah, where both of them were just shook to their core that his power level was that high.
If I remember correctly, Goku is like, "Yo, I beat Nappa." He didn't kill him. He's like, "I think I beat him." And then Nappa goes back to Vegeta. He's like, "Hey, could you beat these guys up?" And Vegeta's like, "Yeah, cool." And then I think he just kills Nappa.
Yeah, Nappa reaches up to Vegeta to like get lifted up for help up. Vegeta takes his hand, fucking yeets him into the air, and just like blasts the shit out of him and kills him one shot.
The visuals, you remember a lot of the visuals of this show.
It was a good show. I have a great visual memory.
You do. Your recall is absurd. So then Goku and Vegeta fight.
It's a good fight.
It's a good fight. They do a lot of yelling.
They do a lot of yelling.
Strong yelling.
Goku turns red a lot of the time, and then he's if I turn even more red, I'll become more powerful, but I could fucking just drop dead again if I turn even more red because it takes so much of my life energy to do that.
Which means something. He never does drop dead from Kaioken, which is kind of a bummer.
No.
That's the red aura.
But he acts real fucked up afterwards.
Yeah, he does seem pretty tired.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I think he kicks most of Vegeta's ass, and then Vegeta's like, "Hey, actually, I'm going to turn into a monkey."
Yeah, because Vegeta still has a tail. Goku
does still have a tail, which allows him to turn into a monkey.
A big monkey.
A big monkey, which seems
ape,
scary. An ape, which is cool.
Question mark?
And then a fat man named Yajirobe comes and chops his tail off.
Yajirobe. I forgot about that part.
He cuts his tail off.
He saves the day.
He does. The show says Krillin tries to chop his tail off with like a disc.
Destructo disc.
A destructive disc. Destructo disc is what he calls it. But Vegeta's like, no, dude, I can sense your power. Mm-hmm. And he misses. However, Fat Man Yajirobe is so weak that Vegeta couldn't sense him, and he just cuts his tail right off.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Turns back into a regular dude. Him and Goku fight for a little while, and then Goku's like, hey, I got my ass kicked. I'm real weak now. Here's a spirit bomb. Can you just throw it at Vegeta? He's saying this to Krillin. Krillin's like, yeah, I got you. I can do that. He's got this little ball of energy, and he goes up on a hill, and he's like, I got to throw it at him, but I don't think I'm going to hit him. Suddenly, the insect man talks to Krillin and is like, you got to seek out his evil energy.
Insect man.
Apparently he can communicate beyond the grave, which is kind of cool, I guess. Krillin's like, okay. And then he closes his eyes and imagines how mean this man named Vegetable is. And he eats this ball of energy and hits him square in the fucking jaw.
And you see his skeleton and shit.
Yeah, it's
pretty brutal. He's screaming hardcore. Like, it's really fucking painful, this thing, when it hits him.
He does survive, though.
He does. He does survive. And he's on the ground. He's like, that really fucking sucked. And he's like, okay, I'm just going to go and try and leave. I hate Earth. Earth sucks. Earth is canceled.
This place sucks.
I'm out. But then he's like, is this? And then they do the beam battle, right?
The beam battle. I don't remember this.
I think the beam battle is before what you just said.
Probably.
I think he turns into a human again. And then he's like, yo, I'm pissed as fuck after that. And then he's like, I'm going up and I'm going to fucking Galick Gun the shit out of all of you. And you're gonna die.
Shoot some energy out.
I'm gonna shoot some purple energy out of my hands, and I'm gonna yell Galick Gun while doing it, and y'all are gonna die.
Which is, let me check the notes. Cool.
It's real cool. And
that's pretty cool.
And he's all just up there, it's just like screaming and grunting and building his energy in his hands. And then Goku's like, "Nah, dude, I'm gonna go all red and shit and do a Kaioken, which means I'm gonna do my red shit even more times 20."
Which means something.
Which means I'm doing it a lot.
Nobody knows.
I'm doing it a lot. 20 times more than normal. That's for sure.
That's a lot.
And I'm going to shoot my blue energy at you. So
Which he does.
Hold
on. Also checking the notes. Fucking cool.
Real cool. So they shoot their beams at each other. And they hit in midair. And it's the first beam battle in Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. And it is...
Check the notes.
Fucking cool.
You didn't have to check the notes on that one.
I didn't have to.
Just knew.
I just remembered that one's cool.
That was tight as fuck.
They did that. Neither of them died from that.
They're both screaming, but Goku won the beam battle. So not only did his beam hit him, but his own beam hit himself as well. It's double beam whammy.
So flashback forward. Vegeta got his ass beat. Vegeta tries to leave
after getting beam battled and fucked up. Beam battle blasted.
Beam battle blasted and
also,
spirit bomb spooked.
Spirit bomb spooked. And now he is just crawling to his spaceship to leave. Just totally defeated and pissed off because he's like an elitist asshole also, actually.
Yeah. He's like,
how could this low class, warrior class Saiyan beat me? I'm the fucking prince. And he beat the shit out of me numerous times.
This like backwoods, swampy, nasty, hillbilly ass planet with this dude and his nasty boy son who's been out in the fucking woods for 6 months. He stinks.
With this man who has a TBI, doesn't know who he is.
He's probably got a staph infection. This dude looks fucking bad. He kicks my ass. And I didn't remember this. I don't know if this is true. In the game, what happened is Krillin comes up with a fucking sword, and he's like, I'm going to kill him.
Oh, yeah, Krillin was about to murk him.
He was about to kill
Krillin was
him.
about to fucking kill the shit out of Vegeta.
Goku's like, no, dude, don't do it. Krillin's like, he's going to come back and kill us. Goku's like, I know, don't do it. And then Krillin doesn't do it because Goku's big and strong and will also beat Krillin's ass if he does this.
Goku will be real mad.
However, Krillin was ready, sword in hand, like, I think I'm just going to stab this guy to death.
I'm with Krillin on that one, to be honest.
In my replaying, I said out loud, I'm kind of on Krillin's side here. A lot of problems would have been averted.
All things considered, Krillin's making the good choice.
I think he's kind of thinking with a level head here.
Mm-hmm.
Goku wants to let him live so he can fight another day and like get his ass kicked again. Krillin's like, a lot of us just died. I think I should stab a man.
Pretty much all of us died. Tien died. Chaozu died. Yamcha
By
died.
his own hand.
Huh?
By his own hand. Chaozu decided to die.
Chaozu, yeah, it was the saddest thing. He tried to blow himself up on this dude's back, and the dude just like walked it off like it was nothing.
Yep. Tragic.
You
hear my dog
she
barking?
yelling at the dog in the background?
Her and Koopa have like shouting matches every now and then.
Oh no.
Let's close the Saiyan saga out.
Krillin doesn't kill Vegeta. Vegeta flies away to fight another day.
That's it.
That's the end of the
Does
Saiyan
Goku
saga.
die? Goku does not die.
Goku does not die. Goku is fucked up as shit. He's like dying, but they give him a senzu, I think, senzu bean, and he's all good. A senzu bean is a magical bean that if you eat it, heals all of your ailments.
A very good bean.
It's A+ bean. You have to eat it raw though. Seems kind of gross.
It seems like an edamame bean. Pretty.
But it crunches.
It does crunch. It seems like a
It
particularly
seems
tough bean.
hard. Seems like an uncooked bean.
The end of it, they were trying to bring everybody back because a bunch of people died with the Dragon Balls. However, Piccolo died in all of that, which means Kami also died.
Piccolo saved Gohan.
Gohan. Yeah. Nappa was about to fuck him up, and Piccolo saved him.
Because Piccolo is actually Gohan's dad.
It is true.
In spirit.
In spirit. Also his real dad.
True.
Anyway, he died, which apparently means the Dragon Balls all got blasted away from Earth. So they're like, hey, we need to go find some more Dragon Balls. Somebody's like, hey, those dudes mentioned a place named Namek where there's some more Dragon Balls. We should go there and find the Dragon Balls. Cut. End of episode. Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
And then the Frieza saga.
Which we will cover at a later date.
It just feels good to talk about.
We got two real heaters. Mario Party and Dragon Ball Z. This is
It's a big ep.
the big ep.
It's grande ep.
It's- We're an hour and 40 minutes in. It's a big ep.
Oh, damn, we are. Shit.
Closing in on feature length for this one.
We're getting into it. Yeah.
Do you have, I bet you do in fact, do you have any Mario Party or Dragon Ball Z themed gaming wisdom?
I might have a little bit of both.
I was kind of hoping you would.
Sometimes you get last place. Sometimes you feel like Peach. Last place.
Yep.
You're cool,
Yep.
but just not physically strong. How do you do that? You think like Goku. You persevere, you train, become better. And what you become in the end is Buff Peach, who will then dominate Mario Party and be stronger than any Donkey Kong who could ever challenge her.
You will beat up your brother and send him to the underworld.
You will beat up your brother. You'll headbutt him in his gut, just like your son did, and send him flying.
And his son before him. That's not the way sonhood goes. It's got to be your grandpa before you. And my son did before his son.
Hey, it still works though.
Hell yeah, I feel inspired.
What's your gaming wisdom?
My gaming wisdom. Don't let the haters keep you down, man.
I'm signing off now. Goodbye. Goodbye.
I knew that would just bring up some Mario Party hate.
This is what I got for Donkey Kong.
What am I hearing?
It's the belt, baby.
Peach don't need to use no belt. Peach got her big old muscles.
It's true. I'm Buff Peach now.
What does Buff Peach sound like?
It's me, Peach.
All right, that's enough.
It's just Peach trying to mimic Mario, I guess.
It's me, Peach.